This is Lisa Tucker, host of The Book Cover, which showcases local literary personalities. So listen to The Book Cover on the borderline. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover. Hi, you're listening to The Book Cover on the Borderline. I'm Lisa Tucker, and today we have a new author to us, Piper Frech. Welcome, Piper.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I wanted to talk about, we want to talk about your book, Kevin's Life. It's a children's book. And when did it come out?
It came out, it was published August 31st.
Of 2023.
This year.
Okay,
yeah,
so we're still
2023.
Okay, so we're still it's still fairly new.
Very new.
Okay, so I want to start from the beginning. I want to start, how did this, so first give me a summary of the book, and then tell me how it began, because you said you sort of, before when we were talking, you sort of fell into it.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell me the summary. Tell me the book, because Kevin, I love the name Kevin, first of all, I love it. And then, okay, go ahead.
So in the spring of 2022, we were just out for a normal walk, and we were walking our two dogs, my husband and our two daughters, and three of us walked past this Kevin, and the two dogs
walked baby squirrel.
Yes. And he was literally just this little body on the side of the road, and my daughter was kind of lagging behind us, and she found him, and she picked him up, and then she said, look what I found. And she's already holding him, and I'm like a mother, right? So I'm thinking fleas and diseases,
rabies, and oh my God, what if it bites?
Yeah. And then that was about a second, and then after that, the whole family really just spent the next 6 weeks nurturing this guy back to health, acclimatizing him for release, becoming my husband's word, squirrel-matologist.
Squirrel-matologist.
Yes.
I love that.
I know. The editor made me take it out of the book. It was in the book, and then he made me take it out because he said he thinks little kids will have a struggle reading that.
Well, he is right, but that's a cool word.
I know, squirrel-matologist.
I love it.
And we went from knowing, basically that's a squirrel and some basic information to really knowing a lot about, just about squirrels.
Well, look, leafing through the book, I mean, you went to, serious websites.
Yes. Yeah.
And you do mention the websites in the book, which is cool because it's they're good for our area, and they're Canadian websites.
Yes.
And wildlife websites on how to care for
and a
baby
not-for-profit.
Beautiful.
And, this organization, I ended up connecting with them because I really wanted, in some small way, to get them some publicity.
Yeah.
We had really relied on their website for our information on what to do. And it was very specific to you find a baby squirrel. Being able to figure out how old it is and what do you do and how do you do it. Wow. And I wanted them to reap any rewards from being mentioned in the book. And they were perfectly fine with me doing that. In fact, they're wanting to sell the books on their website. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And mention the website.
It's the organization's called Ontario Wildlife Rescue.
Okay.
And it's run by husband and wife, and they have a network of rehabilitators throughout Ontario that are concentrating on all different types of wildlife, from squirrels, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I mean, all the way up to larger animals, and
So, and that makes me think, because there's a website, this must happen more often than I realize. Yeah. I didn't really, this must happen. You're not the first, and you won't be the last family that looks this up and says, how do I take care of this?
Exactly.
Right?
And it was funny because, everything in the book is so 100% exactly what happened. Literally, as Erica was holding this guy, Erica's my one daughter, and Alicia was already Googling
how to take care of it.
What to do.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was, it was so cool one of the really cool things about the whole experience was watching my kids really take ownership of the situation.
And work together.
Yeah, and the whole family kind of work together and problem solve and
And I know firsthand how hard it is to get teenagers.
Yes.
interested in anything.
Anything.
That you were interested in. I mean, the parents are always losers and nerdy and that's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
But to get teenagers interested in this, and I mean, not just teenagers, little kids would be interested in this too.
Oh, little kids are so interested.
Right? But parents would have to take more of a role.
For sure.
But how awesome that was to bring
amazing.
The family together.
Oh, yeah. And it totally, like, for my experience with my kids, they were teenagers at the time. Just to have the discussion around the dinner table change from the way it is,
yes,
very similar to how you described, to all of us like talking about Kevin and what did Kevin do and what is he eating now and how's his behavior and what is he just,
what are we doing next?
Yeah, where are we going to release him? And it was just amazing. Like for that miraculous period of time, it was like, I don't know, it was like a book.
Yeah, and it was like a book. And now it is a book.
It is a book. And
so how did you go from this experience to thinking, I have to write this down?
Well, so what I did is, like, as we discussed later, I'm at that age where my memory's becoming a little shoddy.
Yes.
And so one thing I do, I guess just to kind of trick my mind when I'm feeling down, like, if you have a bad day at work or whatever, I kind of call it going to my happy place, and I do something that will take my mind away from whatever is bringing me down to something that will be positive. And so I started writing it down just to be
kind of journaling?
Kind of, but I'm not really into, like, I don't write about me so much as but it doesn't always have to be writing. It could be making a squirrel or knitting or, anything that takes my mind away from it.
So when Piper said making a squirrel, she gifted, so today she came with gifts. She, of course, came with her book, the workbook that we'll talk about, and a finger puppet. And yes, the finger puppet is a black squirrel. And I have one now, and you don't, so I love it. I can't wait to prank my husband with it. Okay, so you started writing
things down. So I started writing it down, mostly just so I could remember it. And then when I as a parent, I read to my kids from the time they were infants.
Sure.
And so I have thousands of books. And when I sat down and read it, after I'd written it, I thought, hey, this is a really good book. Like, it's got so many components that I, as a parent, would look for. Mm-hmm. Like, it's got, that empathy and nurturing that you want your kid, you want to develop in your children, the ability to empathize and nurture. Yep. And you want those kids to be self-starters when it comes to research and educating themselves. So that was in there. The idea of a whole family getting along, I mean, that's something as a mother.
And nobody's stupid.
Yeah, nobody's a big loser everything they say is dumb at the table. Mom, usually the mother.
Been there.
And then it was just, plus getting kids outside. So not so much with the twins that are in the book, but with my son specifically, it's really hard to get him interested in not playing video games. Mm-hmm. So getting kids interested in being outside and kind of, getting them involved in that, that's in there. Yeah. And then the fact that it ended up positively, that Kevin survived. Yeah. Because, our whole lives we've rescued animals, and we have had a few success stories, but there's a lot of little graves in our yard. Oh, yeah. And so the fact that we were able to successfully release him was super, like, that was awesome.
Oh, it must have been, what is feeling of success and pride, right?
Well, and like, it was such a good juxtaposition to being a mom, because when we're letting Kevin go, the day we're letting him go, and I put the video on my Facebook page that I started for the book. Yeah.
What's the Facebook page called?
It's called Kevin's Life, and then a dash, and then Piper Lee Frech.
Okay. Just so people can go on.
Yes. Yeah. Just so they want. And I'm bawling. Like, my voice probably sounds about 3 octaves higher than it does today, just because I'm like, all I'm thinking is this is like what
Releasing
it feels like
your
as a
child
mom
into the world.
when you and here I am, like, we've put all this energy into keeping him safe and well, and all of a sudden we're letting him run up a tree, and it was just overwhelming. And I don't think I ever thought of that until that moment, and all my emotions about my older children, because I have 2 older daughters that have climbed the tree.
Yeah, they have climbed the tree.
And then it just all came out, and it was so emotional letting him go. But
I completely understand. I'm going through that right now because my kids are towards the end of their teen years, and I sit and tell them all the time, you know, I cry, guys. Like, if I see pictures of you as a baby, I cry because I long for that baby, and here you are, you know, you're independent. We don't think of that while we're going through all the baby stuff,
because it seems like it's lasting forever.
So, right? But then now we're at the spot where we're like,
oh yeah.
Okay, and now I have to ask, Kevin.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Kevin?
Okay, so that you know what? I went and read the book at a school, and the kids all wanted to know that.
Well, okay.
Yeah, and so the truth is, Erica, the one who found him, like, when you find an animal in our family, like, honestly, we do this a lot. Then it becomes your honor to bestow a name on the animal. But Erica couldn't decide what she wanted to call him, so I called him Kevin as a placeholder.
Yeah.
And Kevin, you know the movie Up?
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where he's from.
You know what's so funny? I call everything Kevin because of the bird.
Yes. That ended up being a girl.
Oh,
because
so
honestly,
the squirrel's a girl.
No, we had no idea whether Kevin was a girl or a boy, but Kevin works.
Okay, so as gently as you can, tell us, how do you check?
I don't know.
Well, how did you know it was a girl?
We didn't know if he's a boy. He could be a girl.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah,
still?
We just have no idea.
Oh, well, who cares?
Who cares? We didn't want to become that level of squirrelmatologist.
Okay.
Like, that seems invasive.
Got it. Yeah, it does. Checking for, outside genitals rather than inside genitals.
Yeah. Like,
got it.
Yeah.
And probably not in the book.
No, it wasn't on the website. It was probably got, like,
Well, and you know what's so funny? So, and that's a perfect metaphor for life. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know where you stand with gender and he, him, or
I think
she,
live
her.
your life.
Live your life. Yep. Who cares if you're a girl or boy?
No, exactly.
Let Kevins live their lives.
Exactly.
Love it. See, metaphor.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that's where it came from.
I love that. And I was thinking about that when I saw Kevin.
Really?
That's my favorite. Yes.
I love that movie.
That bird.
Yes.
Is I love that.
And Doug, the dog.
Yeah, Doug. D-U-G, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so now let me get to so when you buy the book, do you have the option of getting the workbook and Puppet, or do they all come together as a package?
No, like, the book is published.
Right.
And so I published through Friesen Press, which is a way to self-publish.
That's right, yes.
And the way it works is they have an agreement with Ingram's, who's a big book distributor. So it's Ingram's that puts it on Amazon and Chapters and Barnes & Noble and all over the world on websites for sale.
Okay.
The activity book, I haven't published yet. I just had it printed locally.
Okay.
And the squirrels, like, I just made.
You made these?
Yeah. So I made 142 of them.
I love it.
Well, because this was the thing. After I published it, I was kind of feeling this, like, okay, now, like, because I didn't want it to be over. Because it's so cool, and it was an ending, right? Yeah. So I miss drawing. Like, I've discovered through this whole thing that I love drawing on
You did all the illustrations too?
Yeah. Well, what happened is I thought, there's no way I can do this. I wanted my daughter to do it, but she wasn't interested. And then
The illustrations are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I did them all on my iPad.
Oh, my goodness.
And I usually used pictures of Kevin to do them. Like, if you look at this one where we're releasing him.
Oh, in the very back.
Yeah, on the very back. The one before.
Oh.
The one before. That, yes. If you look at the video that it's on there, you'll know the exact screenshot I grabbed to do that illustration.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I hired a local illustrator.
Yeah.
And then she just kind of broke up with me because she thought you're not going to be happy with the amount of like work I can do for this price.
Okay.
So she canceled our contract.
Okay.
And then I hired a company from Toronto that didn't go well at all. They ended up ripping me off. I got ripped off like to the tune of $900. And
was that on your own research or did Friesen? Okay,
my own
lots
research.
of times Friesen Press, because a lot of our authors are Friesen.
Oh, okay.
And Friesen will offer up a number,
a package, like
and say, okay, you can pick from one of these illustrators which style do you like for your, and they're reputable, but so that was on your own. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. Well,
and I kind of had an image of what I was working with this this company. I had done all these pencil sketches of how I pictured it
to tell them what
I wanted. And so I thought, I got so mad, like I'm pretty cheap and I'm here.
Well, you're an accountant. Of course you're cheap.
Yeah. And so I just sat down at Christmas and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do this. And I just got the app my daughter uses. Every once in a while I'd ask her for help on how to use it. And I just started and I became like
an illustrator.
I loved it. I love doing it.
That is crazy. I love the one page. So on the one page you have about what is Ontario Wildlife Rescue, and you've answered some questions, and this is all factual.
Yes.
So this, I would think that this would be a
nonfiction. Yes.
In a wonderful way.
Yeah.
So you learn, but you don't know you're learning.
You don't know you're learning, and that's like for kids. That's the best way to convince kids. Trick them.
Wow.
Into thinking, and it was neat because I've read it at one school in town, and I'm reading it at another school in town in a couple weeks.
I love it.
And those kids, like, they want to know about the process. They want to know about Kevin. They want to know about the experience, but they also want to tell you their stories about the animals they've tried to rescue. And, it's just there's so much in there. So that's why I created that activity book, is to kind of help parents and teachers connect with their kids on the learning. So some of it is normal activity book stuff, but some of it, like in there, is this one. This is an exercise you could do with the class. So what it is it's a picture of it's an illustration of a whole bunch of different types of foods. They're numbered. Mm-hmm. The page across from it has the names of the food, and the kid or the class, has to say whether it's healthy or unhealthy for a squirrel. And it's neat because the kids will learn squirrels eat frogs, and I didn't know that.
I was going to say no for the frog.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my, gross.
Yeah. And I mean, they eat weird stuff, and weird stuff is bad for them that you wouldn't think, like stuff that grows in your yard, like
as a
garlic.
Garlic is bad for squirrels.
Yeah.
What about a pine cone?
They eat them all the time. They eat the nuts inside, pine nuts.
Okay. See, that makes sense.
And then at the bottom, just because, I'm a mother and sneaky, I asked the kids to think about what on the unhealthy list is healthy for you.
I love that.
Yeah, well, just
because that applies that now they can
think about it.
Yes.
Hey, why am I eating? The donut's pink and it's pretty. Why am I eating the donut when it's really probably not healthy for
and sprinkles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I love this. So so you've just done this.
Yep.
Is it available for purchase?
I have it locally.
Yet?
Like I have copies of it.
Okay.
I'm going to refine it, add some more activities. This one teacher that I'm going to be reading at R.M. in a little bit, and she did this activity. This was the surprise. She did this activity with her class. She made it up, and so what I got on my desk, her son works with me.
Okay.
What I got on my desk at work was this folder of these beautiful little kid, what would they do if they found a baby squirrel, and drawings. And like just priceless.
How awesome. Because all those drawings could go in a whole other book.
I know. I mean, it's just amazing. And then the French teacher from Holy Cross I work with, his wife.
Okay, all these connections, right? Sault Ste. Marie, there's only 2 degrees of separation.
Exactly. Yeah. And he just over Christmas left on my desk this little book that they made where the kids did a similar thing, like all these beautiful drawings. Wow. And just like makes me feel a little emotional.
Yeah. Well, of course, like something that you've done is sparking
all this creativity in these kids,
right?
Yeah, and interest.
Yes.
And I think like it was wild when I went to go see them, because I was picturing Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where the teacher's like, anybody, Ferris.
Oh, it's not like that anymore.
No, they were, it was like I was the Rolling Stones.
Oh my God.
They wanted me to sign their shirts. I'm like, I can't sign your shirt. Your mother will literally hunt me down and kill me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was amazing. They were just, and every time I'd leave a
Piper Lee Frech, J.K. Rowling,
literally,
same thing.
I know. But on a much tinier,
yes.
Yeah. But it's just so cool. And the puppet, when I was a little kid, I was really into, it's a funny story. You know the round barn?
Yes.
So when I was 4, I pitched a fit and made my parents buy me a puppet that looks probably similar to that. And I was trying to, and it was a black squirrel finger puppet like that.
It was.
Yeah. And
it was like predestination.
No, exactly. It was really freaky. And so I spent a lot of the summer trying to recreate exactly what I remembered. And for me, like having that little squirrel like would help me connect, with the idea. And you can kind of, like, if you bend your finger like this, he kind of gets haunches.
Yes, he does.
And like you can snuggle him, like if you're cuddly, and I don't know. Oh
my gosh, I love it. This is so great. What a great imagination you have.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I want to make sure we get to some more things. So where did you release Kevin?
So
are you allowed to say, or is it infringing on his privacy?
Well, no, I'm allowed to say. Okay. So we have a murderous cat that we love very much. Mm-hmm. So we did not release him in our yard.
Right.
And we live on 4th Line.
Oh, nice. Lots of nature. Lots of nature out there.
And so there's a road that is beside where we live that goes all the way up to basically a bush that goes to Gooley.
Beautiful.
And we took him up there, and it's got a little pond with water, and it's got big trees, and it's not largely traveled,
right?
So
it's not like a hiking spot or anything like
that. And we say in the book, like, one of our reasons was we could go every night. So one thing we did, this is super cool, one thing we did is every night after we released him, we'd go up there, like we'd walk, but also we would drive if we were lazy.
Yes.
And it's about a mile.
Yeah. And
we'd just leave a handful of peanuts and a handful of rat food at the bottom of the tree we released him at. And we put a game cam. Cool. Yeah. So if you look in the back of the book, there's actual pictures of actual Kevin in the game cam.
Now, how do you know it's Kevin and not Bob?
Well, there was a Bob.
Oh.
Kevin, I don't know if it's because we're so awesome at taking care of him. His fur was super shiny, and he was muscly.
Oh.
And Bob, there was another black squirrel where we released him, and he was more like drab. Not as
he was
shiny,
fending for himself.
I think.
And probably not
maybe
getting
he was
nutrition.
older too.
Okay, yeah.
But he was, he was there.
Oh,
and one of the
great.
exercises in the book is like an identify the animal exercise with all of the different animals we captured on the game cam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think, like, if I think about it, I think we were more motivated to go to the tree every day and bring the food.
Sure.
Just so we could look at the SD card and see what animals we got.
That's awesome.
It was amazing.
Wow.
It was like Christmas morning every day.
What a great story. I love this story. This is awesome. And because of where we live, Northern Ontario, we've got so many animals that live right in our backyard.
Totally.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I think there are so many kids and families who will be able to relate to this.
Yes.
And, oh, Mom, remember when we found that blah, blah, blah? Or, oh, what a great, I just love this story. So you've gone to 2 classrooms. What age would you say that that Kevin's life?
Kevin's life probably, so I'd say any kids from any primary grade kids.
Okay.
I was
Up to grade 8?
No, up to like maybe
6?
grade 5.
5 or 6, okay.
Yeah. And the activities in the activity book are kind of aimed at my grade 4 self.
Okay.
Grade 3, grade 4 self.
Okay.
And that seems about what I'm hearing from parents is that's about the right age, but with help.
Yes,
like,
of course. You
know,
do it with the family.
Exactly.
And does this, rescuing an animal like this, does it fit in the curriculum?
Well, it could.
Okay.
So that's what I think I'm trying to help inspire teachers to want it to fit into the curriculum.
Yeah.
And really there's so much it's cool for kids to learn about things that happen around the corner from them.
Absolutely.
And I think
by someone who lives around the corner from them.
Exactly. And that's why I went to Greenwood. So it's right. That's where my kids went. It's right around the corner.
Yep.
And that was really cool. Was those kids saying, we found him
over there.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
they can
so cool.
really relate.
I bet you after you read this, there's kids walking home from school who see a black squirrel and say, I wonder if that's Kevin.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's something that they can relate to so well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I would love, have you pitched this to either school boards?
Not yet. No.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
The whole you have to sell this
I need
as a
the package. Yeah.
Yes.
And I need time to develop it, and I need help because I'm an accountant, right?
Right.
My mom, she was a teacher in the school system here for years, and then she taught teaching in university in Marquette.
Wow.
And she's been helpful in terms of giving me some idea of what, but I kind of need a partner, I think, if I'm going to do that successfully.
Yeah, I've got lots of ideas. I've always got ideas.
I love it.
I always got ideas. Now, speaking of marketing and all that stuff, where can someone get this? Okay, so first of all, online, where can they get your book?
So online, you can get it at Amazon.ca. You can get it at Chapters, Indigo.ca. You can get it at Friesen Bookstore. You can buy it at Kohl's in the mall.
Okay. Can you get it at the Wildlife Rescue?
Probably. I don't know if it's up on their website yet.
Okay, so soon.
And them, I gave them all the books. They're gonna sell them and keep the profits.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh,
so
how nice.
Yeah, I've been donating way more books than I've been selling.
So you're not making any money.
No,
but this is a labor of love.
It
anyway,
is,
right?
and you know what? For me, it's not about the money. It's never been, because I think when you're researching self-publishing, your chance of breaking even are pretty much nil.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just the experiences like this, right?
Yeah.
And Nadine Robinson, who you've had on your show, she wrote this article about me, and it was wild. I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, I don't know if anybody has ever put that much energy into thinking about
something you've done.
Yeah. It was wild.
It's because you're an accountant.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, because a lot of
accountants are very white bread.
Well, and my stuff gets shredded after the end.
Because it's all secretive.
Well, and I'm not like an architect where you can drive by and I built that.
My building,
right?
Yeah.
Everything I ever built, it's shredded.
It's shredded and secret.
Yeah. So
that's right. I never thought of that.
But yeah, it's really it's just the experiences.
I love that.
And trying to just ignite little bit of
spark
empathy.
Of thought.
Yeah.
Yes, and empathy. I love that. Is it in do you have it at the Artesian yet?
It's gonna be.
Okay.
It's gonna be there shortly after the 24th
of January.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have any type of a book launch or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I did the 'Tis the Season event in November. That was my
with
book launch.
Tagona, Brian Davies. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And how did you enjoy that?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
They're gonna have another one, I think, in April.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or early May.
Yes.
And I'll be there.
Oh yeah. I'm barring the plague.
No, for sure.
I'm gonna be there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have anything in mind for next?
It's weird because
It's addictive.
It is. Yeah. And I had always thought, like, as I was doing it, I was thinking, like, Kevin's birthday, like his whole first year in the bush and his friends. And then I realized, like, if I did that, it would be fiction. It wouldn't even be with this book in the library.
Right.
And how weird. And I think, like,
if you base it on an actual life of a squirrel, though,
then I could be sciencey about it.
Then you can be fiction.
Yeah, but, like, so there was this one red squirrel that always, like, by the time we took away the game cam right around Christmas time last year, she would take a peanut out of my hand. See, what? She's a she, he's a he. We called her girlfriend squirrel. Like, it's all these, like...
But the genders are blurred.
Yeah, totally.
I love it. Just do whatever you... Yeah, I love that. Aww.
So...
Well, you know what? I love the story. It's so neat how... And I always say, if you look... You don't even have to look hard enough, but if you look, there's a story everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's a book everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's how I see life. Like, I'll see something and I'm like, that's a book. Or, over the Christmas holidays, I was at one event, my brother has his Christmas party, and somebody was telling me a funny story. I'm like, that's a book. And it just, there's, and you've proved it right here. There's a book everywhere.
Well, and how, and that's, like... Just the whole journey. One of the big things was learning how to sign a children's book. Because I have like a an totally illegible signature.
Yeah.
And then just thinking, well, what do I say?
And I read yours perfectly, and it was beautifully written, penmanship, cursive. I love it. So we're if you can believe it, we've been talking for 30 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
If you ever, when you write another book, if you do something else with Kevin, I would love to have you back on, because this is exciting.
Awesome.
I love this kind of stuff. It's amazing. Thank you so much for introducing us to Kevin.
Thank you.
And for gifting me my Kevin now. I'm going to have to, this is going to be prank central, this puppet. And I'll tell you the ideas I have with gifting the puppet with the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Do you have a separate website other than Facebook?
No, just Facebook. But if somebody contacts me, I can...
Through Facebook.
I can, like, if they're in this area, I can drive them a book. If
Beautiful.
They want one. So
okay.
We deliver.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Piper Frech.
Thank you.
Author of Kevin's Life. You've got to pick up a copy of Kevin's Life about a rescued black squirrel and the family who did it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. You've been listening to Lisa Tucker. This is the book cover on the borderline. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover.
Hi everyone, I'm Piper Lee Frech. I'm the author and illustrator of a nonfiction children's book called Kevin's Life, about a squirrel that my family rehabilitated and released. You can find the book for sale on Amazon.ca.com. You can find it at indigoschapters.ca, at barnesandnobles.com, and on the Friesen Bookstore at friesenbookstore.ca, and at your local bookstore. You're listening to The Borderline.